Rini Ushla, Fer August Manaw, I welcome you to the newly refurbished Patrick Kavanagh Centre for Culture Night. We join with venues all over Ireland in celebrating what is precious to us, and tonight we have an opportunity to enjoy both music and poetry. Now, I especially welcome the members of the Inniskeen Enterprise Development Group who have kept the flame alive here in this centre since about 1993. And I also recognise the Patrick Kavanagh Society, active since 1971, organising and managing the Patrick Kavanagh Poetry Awards and the Patrick Kavanagh Weekend and the annual Graveside commemoration. Now, tonight is also a special night to be introducing Michael Gallen, who is a near neighbour, an exciting composer and performer whose work references the poet. Joining him will be John Mcardle, whose spoken words on Kavanagh's poetry with his brother Tommy are a national treasure. Tonight, we have Katrina Clerkin, a living Irish poet who, apart from her own work, has translated Kavanagh's poetry. Who can forget, at the 50th anniversary here, she recited Memory of My Mother and her own translation in Irish. I want to take this opportunity just to wish the new manager of the centre, Darren McCreesh, and Olivia and Sean, his staff, all the best and assure them of our support that will always be available. Later this evening, Scullion will take the stage, singing, playing and rocking for decades. We look forward to hearing Scullion. Inniskeen, Suirc na Fáilte. Pleasant Inniskeen of the welcomes, as the Irish poet Peadar O'Doherty's words are. They're not mine. He lived in this wider area and is buried near Fork Hill in Ernie Graveyard. Seamus Dal McCurtha has Kilkerley connections. Calbui McGilligonna is buried in Donaghmine. Art McCooey, Art Nagolty, whom Kavanagh wrote a poem for, is buried in Cregan, not far away from Crossmadlen. The songs, Cahal Bui, the Bunon Bui, O'Doherty's, Urcanuk Cain Viconcha, McCurtha's Kera Rochin na Bliana, and McCooey's Urkilan Cregan, to name but four, are still sung 250 years after they were first written. Patrick Kavanagh's Raglan Road is in good company. These poets accepted hospitality from the Plunkett Kennys, a family not a mile from where Kavanagh took inspiration for his poem Spraying the Potatoes. Both Kavanagh and McCooey were farmer poets. And I'll finish now with some lines from his poem Art McCooey. I recover now the time I drove cartloads of dung to an outlying farm, my foreign possessions in Shankaduff, with the enthusiasm of a man who sees life simply. 10 loads before tea time. Was that the laughter of the evening bursting school? The sun sinks low and large behind the hills of Cavan, a stormy-looking sunset, brave and cool. Wash out the cart with a bucket of water and a wangle of wheaten straw. Jupiter looks down, unlearnedly and unreasonably. Poetry is shaped awkwardly, but alive in the unmeasured womb. Enjoy the evening.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Tá fáilte romh. It is a sincere pleasure to be playing a concert for an audience in a room. It's the first time that I've done it in almost a year now, so it's absolutely lovely. So thank you very much to the Patrick Kavanagh Centre for having us. We're going to be joined on stage by John Mcardle. sort of intermittently. So, John, if you want to come up and join us now, you're more than welcome. Do you want to come on up? Thank you.
Upon a bank I sat, a child made seer of one small primrose, flowering in my mind. Better than wealth it is, said I, to find one small page of truth's manuscript made clear. I looked at Christ transfigured without fear. The light was very beautiful and kind, and what the Holy Ghost in flame had signed, I read it through the lenses of a tear. And then my sight grew dim. I could not see the primrose that had lighted me to heaven, and there was a shadow of a tree, ghostly among the stars. The years that pass like tired soldiers, nevermore has given moments to see wonders in the grass.
Zoe and Olivia falling through each other's dream. Gorgeous pioneers defy the laws of chemistry, their pathways combining. How distant the world appears from here. Zoe and Olivia falling indifferent to fear. Curious to know these wolves will one day disappear, when right now they're howling. How distant the world appears from here. Though one of us may not have luck in waking up, who can tell the difference? Or whose eager heart the thought comes from? You will be the note unsung upon my tongue, an ocean in the distance, beauty like a river in me, beauty like a river in me. Zoe and Olivia falling. Through the wonder years, innocent of lungs that cloud themselves in apathy, the heart that loves its poison. And maybe it's the clamor downstairs, maybe it's the morning breeze. And soon enough the lines of self will grow in clarity, the vision unraveling. How distant the world appears from here. Though one of us may not have luck in waking up, who can tell the difference, or whose eager heart the thought comes from? You will be the note unsung upon my tongue, an ocean in the distance, beauty like a river in me. Like a river in me, beauty like a river, beauty like a river in me. It's such a long, long way. It's such a long, long way. It's such a long, long way. Thank you very much. Thanks a million. That was a song called Zoe and Olivia Fallen. I'm joined on stage tonight by Cayman Gilmore and by Matt Jacobson. Cayman and Matt are two good pals of mine, but this is our first time playing together on a project, and it is an absolute pleasure, not just to play music for you, but also play music with people. So it's wonderful. And a big hello to everybody who's tuning in on the internet. I think this is really the ideal scenario if we can have live audiences and also reach people that are at home and can't make it out. And a particular hello to my mummy and daddy who are at home watching. So, the next song is called Shakes. I hope you enjoy it. Watching swallows dive, now moths flutter out changing light, and all the world shakes. There's so much more to your heart than just slow and fast. Love's to be beaten and broke, so a soul can hatch. So new, feeling strong when I'm weaker, knowing I won't last, and all the world shakes. All the world shakes. Said and done, my distance is almost run. My nights all come down to one, alone. My arms are open now. For years I was holding out. I was trying to lose somehow. I was trying to lose somehow. My nights all come down to one, alone. My arms are open now. For years I was holding out. I was trying to lose somehow. I was trying to lose somehow. I was trying to lose somehow. And all the world shakes. And all the world shakes. And all the world. Thank you very much. Thanks a million. We're going to be joined by John again on stage. Thanks very much, John. I have to unlock my laptop here. It's gone on me. It's a pleasure to have John on stage. I'm from Castleblaney, as a lot of you will know, and I suppose I discovered Kavanagh first through my mother, and always found that this was a connection to his work through the sort of map of all the little kind of deaths and rebirths that can happen in life, and I then saw John perform Kavanagh's work sort of several times as a teenager, and it really deepened the relationship. And I suppose, now that I compose music, I've done a few choral pieces and, different, I suppose, used Kavanagh's words in different ways. And it's been a real pleasure to kind of reconnect with John over the last couple of years through Kavanagh.
It's a great pleasure for me too.
So
it's an honour.
Yeah, thanks very much, John. So this next track is called Saunter, and it'll feature Beyond the Headlines by Kavanagh, which I think is a poem very apt to this time, where he kind of sees some wild geese flying over him when he's out for a walk in Dublin, and considers how the delicacy of the geese in flight will outlast the wings of war. And I think it's a very beautiful thought for the moment that we're in.
Then I saw the wild geese flying in fair formation to with our base in Inchicore. And I knew that these wings would outwear the wings of war, and a man's simple thoughts outlive the day's loud lying. Do not fear, don't fear, I said to my soul. The bedlam of time is an empty bucket rattled. 'Tis you who will see at the end who best battled. Only they who fly home to God have flown at all.
Thank you very much. John Mcardle, everybody. Thank you, John. So this year, I had the honour of being an ambassador for Culture Night. And I suppose the role, it's an unusual one this year because, you know, normally Culture Night would all be based around live events, and I guess, you know, a lot of it grew out of Dublin initially and then has grown out into the rest of the country. And one of the things that's kept on coming up in conversations is, you know, it's an unusual year for artists because a lot of the normal infrastructures through which we'd reach audiences, you know, have been taken away, and which is why a night like this is such a pleasure. But also, I suppose, one of the things that is beautiful about being here in the Patrick Kavanagh Centre that's just been reopened is that it sort of is symbolic of the relationship that we need to rebuild with the cultural infrastructure around us. And I know Culture Night is situated in an unusual spot this year because it's just as we're, you know, trying to open back up and then close again and open back up. But I'd really urge, you know, everybody that's watching online, and I suppose everybody that's here as well, you know, that's to engage not just with local arts venues, but also with local artists that are around you, you know, and figure out ways for them to maybe meet you halfway in order to get their work out there. Because it is, you know, a difficult year, and much as we all want to celebrate the arts, it's also important that we see it as a precious resource that belongs to everybody. So it's a real honor to, I guess, to have the mic to talk about these kind of things. And, you know, I hope that we'll all be able to sort of wind our way out of this together. Thank you. This next track is called Bird in Transit. Roles reversed, I am the patient walker. She catches breath, we make our journey shorter. Once I combed her purse, looking for lunchtime coppers, and came away with things that were of no concern to me. Someone else's hope, pocketed carefully. One by one these songs will turn to granite, and teenage reveries glow then vanish. And the smallest thing I took for granted appear and then disappear just when I had it. Restless years, every open door is closing. Tied up with kids, building a home in logs and Lego and third-hand clothing. Old beyond our fears, every death a god returning. Anytime it rains, you just put on your coat and sing. Splash into the hurt, heavy your heart may be. Distant clouds draw near, birds in transit, flung by memory over where she's standing. A shimmer on the ear, a light abandoned. Some of our thoughts are far too good for landing. One by one these songs will turn to granite, and teenage reverie glow then vanish. And the smallest thing I took for granted appear and then disappear just when I had it. 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 Just when. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is genuinely the first time we've gotten that right. Thanks a million. This next track is going to be our last one. It's a song called Going Gentle, which is a song kind of inspired by the Dylan Thomas poem, Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. John will join us again at the end. No, I'll give you a shout, John, I'll give you a nod. So we'd just like to say a big thank you to Darren McCreesh for having us here at the Patrick Kavanagh Centre. We'd like to say a thank you to everybody that's been here, working on sound, working on lights, and the video crew who have been absolutely lovely to work with all day. And I'd like to say a particularly big thanks to Cayman and Matt, who are wonderful musicians. So a big round of applause for them, please. And yeah, I'll dedicate this one to my mum and dad who are at home. Watching the old man begin again, now that the crowd have all settled down in homes far away from our hometown, finding new life when life's shimmering, when others withdraw from the scene. He sees the conceit, grateful to be while he is. But for me, do not go softly into your sleep. Give up the grace and redemption that I cannot reach. Raise and refuse. I'll cut the glorious heart from the middle of you. Try to deliver us through. Stay, we'll escape. Watching our bodies go brittle and cold with the waste, biting our tongues for the taste, biting our tongues for the taste. Threading the stars in a rosary, I wish I could know what he knows, bringing home mysteries and letting them sit at our table. And am I myself or a litany of sons who grew up and had sons of their own, brothers somehow, but you are the only one here. So for now, do not go gentle into your sleep. Stay in the rush and confusion, meander with me. Raise and refuse. I'll cut the glorious heart from the middle of you. Try to deliver us through. Stay, we'll escape. watching our bodies go brittle and cold with the waste, biting our tongues for the taste, biting our tongues for the taste.
Leafy yellowness, you create for me a world that was and now is poised above time. I do not need to puzzle out eternity as I walk this arboreal street by the edge of a town. The breeze too, even the temperature and pattern of movement are precisely the same as broke my heart for youth passing. Now I am sure of something. Something will be mine wherever I am. I want to throw myself on the public street without caring for anything but the praying that the earth offers. It is October over all my life, and the light is staring as it caught me once in a plantation by the fox coverts. A man is ploughing ground for winter wheat, and my 19 years lie heavily on my feet.
Thank you very much. Thank you, John.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Patrick Kavanagh Centre. My name is Darren McCreation, I'm the manager here, and it's my honour to welcome Katrina Clerkin, an Irish language poet from Emmyvale in County Monaghan. She's going to come up now and she's going to recite a number of poems. Katrina grew up in Gortnamoney, Emmyvale in Monaghan. She's published 2 collections in Irish, both from Cushcame Criller, which won the Oireachtas Prize for New Writers in 2010, and Brídeach She, which was a joint winner of the Michael Hartnett Award in 2015. She's also a critic and an Irish language and literature lecturer in DCU. So I'd like you to give a warm welcome to Katrina Clerkin, please. Thank you.
Good evening. It is a wonderful pleasure and a great honour to be invited here to my native County Monaghan, to the new Patrick Kavanagh Centre here in Enniskeane. And thank you so much to Darren McCreesh and to Niall O'Connor for the beautiful invitation here, and also to Rosemary and Art Agnew for the re-invitation and for the great honour to be back here. I am an Irish language poet. I am a woman. I live in Monaghan. And this is my new book. It's called The Talk of the Town. And it was published this year by Gallery Press. And the translator is Peter Fallon. I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight, online and at home, and wish you well in the coming months, in and out of lockdowns. And I'd like to start with a quote by the great French philosopher and writer, Albert Camus, because I think that Patrick Kavanagh is a great unrecognised existentialist poet in our history. In the midst of hate, I found that there was within me an invincible love. In the midst of tears, I found that there was within me an invincible smile. In the midst of chaos, I found that there was within me an invincible calm. I realized that through it all, in the midst of winter, I found that there was within me an invincible summer. And that makes me happy. For it says that no matter how hard the world pushes against me, there's something stronger, something better pushing right back. So again, thanks to the Gallery Press, thanks to Peter Fallon for translating some of my poems. I am a love poet. I also write about my experiences of growing up around the border, and I write about the folklore and place names of County Monaghan. So I'll begin with my first love poem to my first sweetheart, which is named after a place name in County Tyrone called Drimshark, which means the Ridge of Love. Drimshark, Givnair Machiad Gra. Pogan gi an Trinona, Beal Machivna, Le Jora Mala is Olam spare. Liam lat a rish a legil, ar gullen fi vla, mar realta, curha vrataner. Drumshark, the Ridge of Love. Remembering my first sweetheart. Wind in the evening kisses with honey the mouth of my memory, and I imbibe the sky. Once again with you, mon amour, I lie. Our bodies in bloom like a mass of stars planted in a mantle of grass. So I'm writing as an Irish language poet, I'm writing as a woman, and I consider that my writing is écriture féminine, or women's writing, or writing as a woman, as a poet, and writing from a female heart, and writing about the experience of love, which can be painful, which can be toxic, which can be wonderful, which can be passionate. And I had a very interesting conversation with a great friend of mine about what is passion recently. And we had a huge argument with each other about the Latin root of the word, and the root patior means to suffer. Cealag. Bavach im krihu, hanning tu amach, ig blahu tri machiecha, is bachalig villishid na poga, calig foga domachalige, frucht tu me le brichre mine, detchel mokri is lub me fuet de mavlacham, moras, doskel tu me moraris miala, is dol to gachi and vilschacht. Anish tam chollen bracha le calige gormjariga, boelche le shod calige kirkra, cludihe le wil fuha, wil sherke o var gasal sting. You were a bee in my heart. You loomed through my breasts in full flower, your kisses like sweetened stings. Your sting kisses deceived me completely. Your soft talk won me over. Up flew my heart as you snared all of me, bloom and stem. You prized open my honey portal and sucked all of my sweetness from me. Now My body's left spattered with purple stings, battered and bruised with bobbly stings, covered with love bites and hate marks from head to heel. So, yeah, okay. Maybe a more gentle one after that. Some of the place names around here are really beautiful, and they are incredibly beautiful in Irish. For example, Glennyhorn, which is in Irish Cluain na Horna, which means the barley meadow. My second collection is entitled Unbhrídeach She, which means the fairy bride. And just across the road from where I grew up in Corcoran, Emyvale, there is Tully Lake. And below the lake lives the fairy bride who did centuries ago come out of the lake to marry the local Taoiseach. Unfortunately, he was unfaithful, so she went back into the lake with the 3 children and all the sheep. But sometimes you might see her coming through the barley meadow. So this is for her. Cluain na Horna. I Cluain na Horna, dúshin na smolies, and yehlog is the honey yalla. Irian an Bhrídeach She, Shukban Talav, mar rol mean, she the urhi. Fillin an bunnin bui a hur a cluin, Johnlachin kjol ning yolgach tiv an trahan. Irian she lesh na fwishuga la brakan lay, Jane she fwi kelch na farnoga, Etchlian she har of winya violin, Macri hies fuhi. Fillin she's the nyasker, an Bhrídeach She, the fwinya grania. And the beautiful translation here by Peter Fallon. Barley after grass. They're stirring in the barley after grass, the thrushes, in the climbing plants and glistening marshes. And up she gets, the fairy bride. Like the sheer satin and silk she wears, white frosts upon the ground, again with its return to long grasses. Reed music plays beside the bittern, by the stream side, and up she gets, from the scrake of day, who will furtively make her way under cover of the alders, over the brushwood, the fairy bride, and plains below every day at evening tide. Cogger, Cogger Store, na focles cúne, siada she, leanta le ruin, a níon Mcardle, a halshin skalna, Cogger, Cogger, Store, the anim and close gashiri. Shh, whisper, my love. What you'd whisper, least loudly as fairy silk, brimful of mystery, echoes cascade to inflame the dark. Whisper, my love, till time's end, your name. Very hard to know what to read out sometimes, but just an old one. No maid imagine. Bullen hirnal imagine the Arasan a gay Hanover, Tusse the Hyasu ig an Vord ig Smoothal, the Lane a Gland Fachinian Hibre, Sme Gorkort, Glushin and Tiern Gamal, Harnedach, is Diriter Gachrachan, Tussulagam Game Corsi Adrien, Koresh in a store. And this is a poem about the beautiful Hanover Quay. A moment, one morning. One morning, the scent of ironing in your apartment in Hanover Quay, you standing beside your board, pressing your clean shirt for work, watching me, you with me, watching you closely. The iron rides slowly over the fabric, smooths every wrinkle. My love, let everything between us move as evenly. Because I'm here at Kavanagh's Centre and I went to visit his grave before the reading, I'd like to read a poem that I wrote after reading a translation at his graveside for the commemoration 3 years ago. Man lay ag ui an Cévani, Inniscín Muinachan. Bhí capel gunna na cric splankage orthú, bhí cligín ag búla in imigéin, clog sin na nangal is précáin ag hagaos ar gion, is a mui faoin úr léimid de gánta don tlua, Bhí madadú fáin I meas na gloch cínas na dúmi, mar a bheith de haibh se an. Bhí grain ísil gevri ag lonrú in éasarin fas gahabh, ba wachas saul da bhion gaia bhí man lei on nor leimwyd dutch ella an tróna úd I mína sauna. Is bhí pibar a rua ag senim os ciond I casa amach noti neva an coolin mar van she an gee. Now the Red Piper there is Tiernan O'Dinkin mar Olas mar Vishak Shannon and Tamshin. In the middle of the day, at the Kavanagh grave in Iskeen, County Monaghan, bay horses in a hill field with horse blankets strapped to them. Far in the distance, a bell clapped its tinkle of the Angelus. A crow was croaking over us. And in the bracing air, we read your poems aloud, while a black hound strayed as if your ghost in a shroud. Where there amongst the graves and gravestones as, like a wan smile, winter's low sun shone on us a while. It was noon in November when we read to you, poet, at the foot of your resting place, a piper with red hair sprinkled heavenly notes of the coolin like a banshee through the air. So being from Ulster, being from a border county, being in lockdown, there's a lot of things going on at the moment, but I just want to wind it back to 1607, to the Flight of the Earls, if that's okay. And I'm going to talk about the great Hugh O'Neill and his wife, Katrina, the Countess of Tyrone. And he was trying to say, get on the boat, we're going to go look for help. So he was mansplaining, and she was sort of forced to get on the boat with the Flight of the Earls, and she was told, no, leave your son behind, he's 5 years old, saying, no, it's not going to work. So history tells us that Katrina was actually right. But anyway, so the poem is called Scarra na Gompanach. I'd like to dedicate this poem to my friend Eileen Bradley. Scarra na Gompanach, Lorne Katrina Cuntish Hiron. Vruch na fiawla tur, a hanig huam a davrif, Gleam, Hogga, Viera, Jimpy, an Timach Shaw, ni Taruach, mar a scapter Jatach, Sauli a scaffer, Virginia, mar Cair, a láher na China, Sauli a láfer, Inshin te Kina Giha, will non doing, Slur i ganeach du, shin o wadur London, ma vacog, ma verning con, ma lanav hain, ma lechsa, Ganek, Cuig de Vlainte Farum, Skakian Snal, the Rebu, Fun of Virum, Cade Law Reeve, Irid and Thursgaram Whalen, a Cormir Larum, Gularai, Sarmak Ogal, we love and gill. The Parting of the Ways, as spoken by Catherine O'Neill, Nemaguinness, Countess of Tyrone. On the Foyles river bank a foreboding came on me, and I fitfully sleeping. Men, I pray and plead with you, what's the good in this going? Just as smoke can be scattered, so we'll be dispersed. Like wax by the hearthside, we'll come into our worst. A keen wind will report what's in store as it rages in London's tower or through the raven's pages. My youngest son, my darling Con, child and hero heaven sent, with me a mere span of 5 years, now each and every ties to be rent. To abandon this trip to Rathmullen was from the start my most ardent wish, but he, my own Earl, forced me to proceed and abandon our son to the grip of English. So there's still some problems with, men not listening to women, etc., etc. Okay. I'd like to read maybe 2 or 3 more poems and call it a day, then call it a night. The next poem that I'll read is a poem of loss for my mother, and it's called Capel Bon, the Mawahar. Tá Capel Bon fuat crí, Capel Bon na Shiriachta, Capel Bon na Tuavnish, Capel Bon na Sheva. Na biúartin skebla, ber grem vwing, Capel Bon keen fuat, Capel Cannon fuat. Cynni gremers tu dul hartarshuk, caithí tú dul thar táirseach, sin an méid a crí, is bé the capel bán fuat, nuair a héan tú go dtí tír na mala nach bhfuil gulin si go fóil. I had thought originally that this poem was untranslatable because it's about death, it's about a white horse, but Peter here translates it as the old grey mare. And, you know, there has been a lot of death around, so, and there probably will be more. The old grey mare. You are riding the old grey, my dearest, the old grey of all time, the old grey that's well broken, the old grey of such quiet temperament. Fear or fret not a whit, grab a hold of her mane, and you astride the old grey mare on the back of the old grey, with a blaze on her forehead, hold on tight as you cross the threshold, for to cross the threshold you're fated. That's the all of it, my dearest, and the old grey will transport you well when you go to those Elysian fields where a tear has yet to fall. So this is the beautiful time of Indian summer, the harvest. The Irish for the Indian summer is Forningana, and I just read 2 short haikus, 4, based on place names and the harvest moon. Crave Leah, Imas na mehina giala, orcam amach gort orga, Gialach na ginlach, le clapholus kirkegarum, na valach roin sa spare, Rian na giali buanya. Harvest, Creve Lee, grey branch or bough. From a grove of white birches I plenish my sight with a field of bright gold. Harvest moon in an orangey twilight before us and skyborn, the moon in its bright cycle. I'd like to finish with 2 or 3 border poems. I grew up along the border at the height of the Troubles. My mother was from County Tyrone, and every time we wanted to see my grandmother, we had to go across the Ochnacloy border. I think Kavanagh was kind of familiar with what it meant to grow up along the border and all the silence and the devilment that goes with that, okay? So, Trasan na Chorn, Tus, Cabera de Jertu, na Habaraga, Cunyi, the Cleggan Hies, the Veil, Huiglas, Bian Ye ancient, Scale, Agus Ye, Legan Jake, Auroran, Ocan Shaw, Harther and Choran, Tar Mali Hainokin, Scaltic an ancient, Code Tusta, Omerta, Tardy and Shea, Nahan Cadraf, Foregnach. Border crossing, seal lips, narrow word. Whatever you say, say. Keep the head down and the mouth shut. There are differing ways of telling a tale, and a dozen at least of saying a song. But here, hard by the border, we've our own manner of carrying on. Stories untold, born to the grave. It's omerta, that code of silence that pervades when violence permeates any and every intimate pairing. That's what goes on, that's just the way. So what happened was, if you were at the border in Auckland, there was a big shed, and if you're brought into the big shed, then you're kind of worried, okay? So my poor mother was trying to go over the border with 3 wee girls in the back of the car, and she just wanted to see her mother, but it wasn't that simple. Choran. Irin she orhi shasa amach on glúistan, le gaguri she kesh narhi. Fécna tur anínacha amach aninio gar a mahar agus gunny na sidery. Cabal de hriel, can asa wil shivik chacht, agus céan fa, Ifrian an sider di gabarab. Cadas anim ditch, cabal coniart. Near ragger mawahar inrod reeve cocune curamach na seal, rivishin no in ye. Tommy jirk and ye curtu horch mawahar, dershi, shan wahar na galni jiron. Agus inish tá Mcardle ar an seoran go scarabh na ggéireach. Nís déanaí síon sí sa cistín I caitheamh fiche sulcot I déanamh buairmh is machnamh gus I géirí agla riven shed mór curdaí. Border, the limit. He asks her to step out of the car for a moment. Just a few questions. Her three little angels stare at their mother through the window at the soldiers' submachine guns. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? And why? And to what end? The pup of a squaddy asks, demands, what's your name? Where do you call home? In all her days, my mother had never so quietly and carefully responded. I'm after seeing my mother, said she, the wee one's granny in County Tyrone, and now I'm crossing the border for Emmy Vale, heading home. Later, she sits in the kitchen, working her way through 20 Silcot, a huddle of worry, a bundle of bother, and struggling to banish the dread of the big shed at the border. So I suppose the thing growing up is we actually thought this was normal, like it's so normal, you know. But anyway, so there was a kind of that maybe funny side. Hold up. Another time crossing the border, an evening near Auchnacloy, we were all ordered out of the car. They ransacked the boot, checked underneath, checked everywhere. We three little girls were lined up against the wall. At times such as these, you learnt it's best to be quiet until it became second nature, part and parcel of you. Then they took my mother into the big shed, her into her car, and left us standing there for what was an age. They took the whole car apart and, with steady gestures and routines, dismantled my mother too. Then after maybe that endless hour, and then after finding nothing, we'd all get back into our seats and head home across the border. Is it any wonder my mother could hardly breathe? I'll just finish with one last one called Tombridge, an anniversary. Drihid Huma. This is for my Aunt Kathleen. Drihid Huma, a Kugala Jeg de Vilunasa. Fekam Mamaka Ninyog Ostan Anchin, the O'Neill's arms. Megans na Hokdoji, agus my heart er Yahmli in the Jaish. Mihan Wahar Tevlam, Mas na Lily Bana, Tev Here the Kirchni Valvacha, Inaka and grand piano. Erin Trod Hamwi Tha Dinig Marshall, the Bannakiol, Iskirter and Union Jack Trihinna, Tha Roddy Macaulay, Dull Cunawash Rish, Tombridge, an anniversary, August 15th. I peer through the window of my aunt's hotel, the O'Neill's arms. It's sometime in the 80s, and I'm about 10. My grandma's beside me, surrounded by Easter lilies. Behind the velvet curtains, by the baby grand. Down below in the street, people are marching to a band. Someone sets fire to a Union Jack. Roddy Macaulay's bound to do the dance of death again. Gur míle maig a bheas éisteach lom bhíon a bhuacas buinnig is sult as an cadela deníthe. Gur míle maig So just a great thanks again to the Patrick Kavanagh Centre and everybody here, to all the great cameramen, etc., all the sound people, everyone here. Thank you so much, and to all the listeners tonight. Canigi and Laura Leverdall. Gur míle maig.
Well, a gwini wishte, tá sé go hívan bheithan so. Dog me i'r gwynach, tá me marachtant 8,000 siarón dangan the leanta so, le scór blin an nos, agus tá hánig me sir agus giuti bio go huig, agus táid in san áit álin, clúhar seo, don ihe fierce de stíalta seo. Tá go an ile le cloisiint, agus tá an ceol Tá cloiste gin gydí seo gehífin Father. It's a delight to be here and to come to this magical room and to be here most especially on Culture Night, and I'd like to say hello to everybody who's watching online and to everybody here. Hello, hello, hello. They're up there. They are there. You can hear them. Don't worry about saving these songs, and if one of our instruments breaks, it doesn't matter. We have fallen into the place where everything is music. The strumming and the flute notes rise into the atmosphere, and even if the whole world's harp should burn up, there will still be hidden instruments playing. So the candle flickers and goes out. We have a piece of flint and a spark. This singing art is sea foam. The graceful movements come from a pearl on the ocean floor. They derive from a slow and powerful root that we can't see. So, stop the words now. Open the window in the center of your chest and let the spirits fly in and out. Now that I fell into your arms, my only lover, give out to give in. I search for the capsule I've lost. Drag me to hell in the valley of the Downs. Like my mother, give wings to a stone. It's only the shadow of the cross. Ooh, I slept on my back, the shade of the meadow lark. Like a champion, get drunk to get laid. I take one more hit when you depart. I'll drive that stake through the center of my heart. Lonely vampire inhaling his fire. I'm chasing the dragon too far. There's blood on that blade. Fuck me, I'm falling apart. My assassin, like Casper the ghost. There's no shade in the shadow of the cross. It's a short life of trouble. Just a few more days of woe. It's a short life of trouble. Just a few more days of woe. I know what you promised. It was some time ago. You promised you would marry me, standing on the barroom floor. It's a short life of trouble. Just a few more days of woe. It's a short life of trouble. Just a few more days of woe. I hear the train a-comin'. It's coming by the station there. I'd rather be dead and in my grave than to see my baby go. It's a short life of trouble. Just a few more days away. It's a short life of trouble. Just a few more days of woe. Gonna míle maith Rúgad agus tóg mis carcaí agus bhí mar chaint ó chéanamh mar ar seanach charlam líam ó mórdaile atá inis mé ar slína fíorne agus bhí mé féin agus an fila úd bhí dúrachan só bhí mar chaint a chéile mar ar líam agus cé có álan agus a bhí sé mar gcuine duine sais onric oscailte agus fila den chiad sco agus is más chuinem nuair a chuid mé siar go dtí an daingin agus go dtí carca gcuine den chiad úr bhí mé damas i tig le líam agus gang eile agus bhí time únta go grin agus dus bhís dúrchas míle bhar an dáin san do chuid seanar ar dáin ar a dúrn sé tear fear na falla siar trám ó grain a go chorca gcuine. Is cí arán a ráthíocht ag buna spéire an ibar dhéas an mófaíte agus an tisisiil garamach ar bhéal of dhaoine. Sinné do goras dún chuoin fécholas an trónóna. And so I suppose the poems come back into my head because here I am in the very heart of poetry land, if you like, really, and the great and the wonderful Patrick Kavanagh. Those first two songs were laments, if you like. This one is slightly happier. Not hugely happier, but a bit better. Wouldn't you say something?
Marginally.
Marginally, yeah. It's another love song, of course.
It's called Forever Frozen.
So cold in my heart, it just might stop. I'm waiting for something I don't know what. Footsteps closer, but I don't turn around. Screaming wind is scratching over town. I don't know where I am. I can't be found. Footsteps closer, but I let them come. I'm forever frozen. Oh, forever frozen since you've spoken. So cold in my heart, it just might burst. I'm waiting for someone I think the worst. in shadow, in cold, in shadow, in cold, walking up from the green sea. Goodbye, Karen Ann. Goodbye, fairy. Goodbye. Goodbye, St. Columba. I'll never see you bring her back this way. Goodbye, Karen Ann. Said goodbye, fairy. Goodbye. Goodbye, St. Columba. I'll never see you bring her back this way. Goodbye, Karen Ann. This old sadness was here before you came. Outside my window, looking in again. This old silence was here before you came. Under my door, looking in again. Walk the deck now, Karen, go on, walk the deck. Let me see you taking the sea air. I'll watch you out past the lighthouse. Goodbye, Karen Ann. This old emptiness was here before you came. Outside my window, looking in again. This old silence was here before you came. Under my door, looking in again. Traffic changing gear. Goodbye, Karen Ann. No, I'll never see you bring her back this way. Goodbye, Karen Ann. 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 Thank you very much.
This is Sonny Condell who writes the songs.
These days are getting dimmer. Reaching down to get the headlight. Tonight, get a little closer to you. tonight. It's very warm here with you. Tonight, tonight, get a little closer to you. And then we're on our way, we take a day, we make a little time. We're high up here above the world, and big windows around, it's open into snow. Oh, 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 oh. It don't take long to get it right. I see you shivering by the roadside. Getting is really freezing. I can't hear a word what he's saying. The Scottish driver's got no teeth. He talks about his children. He talks right up to Stockton. And then we're on our way, we take a day, we make a little time. We're high up here above the road, and big windows around, it's open into snow. And then we're on our way, we take a day, we make a little time. High up here above the road, and big windows around, it's open into snow. Oh, oh, oh. You're sleeping in the corner of the cab. When you waken up, we're driving into snow. And the driver's thoughts are driving in the driving us on and on, and they're driving us on, and they're driving us on, and they're driving us on. It's a long jump down to the pavement. I turn around and help you down. We're miles and miles to the north now. It don't take long to get right. See you shivering by the roadside. You can hear me say, it's really freezing. Say, it's really freezing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Gonna meet amach with the Screeg, Sonny, Naharan, son, Kiatkian, Forever Frozen, agus and son, Goodbye, Karen Ann, agus and son, Aran, Chrimmer de Kane, and a brilliant of father in Eyelids into Snow. Sonny, would you play? We were walking through Inniskeen today, and just so beautiful, and the light was glorious. And we were talking about this song. It's a song that Sonny wrote some years back called Backwater a While. And it's sort of a poem, really, I guess, that Sonny put to music. And I'm going to play this for Dermot McLaughlin. Dermot was the man who brought the idea of Culture Night to Ireland. Day one, all those years ago, and like all great little ideas, it was the simplest thing in the world. A little seed was sown, and here we are now, more necessary than ever, that these buildings, which are so important in every community, are all over the country opening their doors for poets and musicians and artists and dramatists and people about their work, are doing their thing in all of these buildings. And isn't it so fantastic? And what an antidote this is to the lonesomeness and the anxiety that all families and communities are feeling right now with this disease. And we just believe that poetry, as I think Seamus Heaney, quoting George Safaris, the Greek poet, said, poetry is a help. Music is a help. It's a salve and a succor, and it stops us thinking too much for a moment and just sitting back and sitting into the song. And we just feel very privileged, like everybody who's been on the stage tonight, to be here, to be in this room, and to be playing music that through the magic of technology is going out to the world wherever you want to watch it. But still, here we are with a small group of people in human contact like we always were when you'd go to a session in a folk club like we did for many, many years. And just a delight to be here. So, Sonny, would you play Backwater a while? Yeah.
Have a go anyway.
This is for Dermot, who started the whole thing.
There's a mighty storm up here. Come, love, let us find a shelter. Your sweet forehead needs no light. Backwater a while. in a hall of glass with me. Moon above and the fish below. Years are pearls in shells of silence. Oh, backwater a while. And our eyes through wearers bonds of iron, and our thoughts do with the meaning of the war. And our eyes, they were as bonds of iron, and our thoughts, they were the meaning of the war. Oh, let the rushing crowd rush on. Come, love, let the pushing push right on. We've now both been much too long. Oh, backwater a while.
How are we all getting on? Good? Yes? And how's everybody out there in streaming land? Hello to all in streaming land. We could organize a big hello. 1, 2, 3. Hello! From County Monaghan. Woohoo! I really do mean it's great to be here. How lucky is to have this place. We have a little church in Dingle, the Church of St. James, and we started doing a thing called Other Voices there. This will be the 19th year in a row that we've done the thing, and next year it's 20 years. And there's music in the walls of the place now, and a long connection to Canon James Goodman and the tunes of the Munster Pipers and so much more. But there's something about the place. And remember one night, Amy Winehouse came to play, and she hopped off a bus when the bus landed into Dingle, and she was in fantastic form, entirely present. And she had one of those sort of beehive hairdos, sort of slightly off, sort of falling over on one side. But she was just a magnificent singer. But I remember there was a local woman coming down the street, and she said, "Who's on inside tonight?" And I said, "Amy Wine." She said, "Amy who?" Nobody in Dingle knew who Amy Winehouse was back then, but that was the thing. But having a place like this means people will come, and it's just fantastic to see it. So great congratulations to whoever put this together and the team of people that made it happen. It's just great to have it, great to see it. It's time for something a little more punchy. This is for Terry and Breda, if you're watching. Terry, Breda.
Looking in the distance is my usual repose, waiting for the pictures that this twisting will unfold, listening to the water as the moon goes through a cloud's nose. Oh, she's so fine. Oh, she's so fine, so fine, so fine. Yes, that's okay now, but something seems to be slipping. My eyes still wide open, but I'm not really looking. A woman in my memory, memory comes creeping. Oh, she's so fine. Oh, she's so fine, so fine, so fine. Get me to the docks, say that she'll be late. Gonna catch that ferry if I have to jump the boarding gate. Get me to the docks, say that she'll be late. Gonna catch that ferry if I have to jump the boarding gate. Well, I've no time for the moment when I'm empty and I need her. Offers a call, but regular as fireworks, you keep walking to me. Oh, she's so fine. Oh, she's so fine, so fine, so fine. Get me to the docks, they say that she'll be late. Gonna catch that ferry if I have to jump the boarding gate. Get me to the docks, they say that she'll be late. Gonna catch that ferry if I have to jump the board and jump the board and jump the boarding gate.
Thank you.
This is a song we love to play, and it's written by a band from Cincinnati, Ohio. They're called The National, and they came to Dingle and played in our little church as well, and they make great music. smaller, smaller. I need my girl. I need my girl. Remember when you lost your shit and drove the car into the garden? You got out and said I'm sorry to the flowers, but no one saw you. I need my girl. I need my girl. I'm under the gun again. I thought I was the 45% of them. I thought I could do anything, but I am good, I am grounded. Davy says that I look taller. I can't get my head around it. I'm just feeling smaller and smaller. I need my girl. I need my girl. There's some things that I should never laugh about in front of family. I tried to call you from the party. It's full of punks and cannonballers. I need my girl. I need my girl. I'm under the gun again. I thought I was the 45% of them, and I thought I could do anything, but I am good, I am grounded. Davy says that I look taller. I can't get my head around it. I'm just feeling small and smaller. I'm just feeling small and smaller. I'm just feeling smaller and smaller. I'm just feeling smaller and smaller. Yes, Robbie, this is Robbie Overson playing the guitar for you. Robbie's going to play a tune that you know, I guess. I think you'll know it. Tá nasc, Loider, leis an fáin seo, leis an tún seo, leis an mór seoil seo, le Muintir Coolé. Muintir Coolé teor an son, idir Corcaigh agus Ciaraí, agus tá nasc idir an fáin seo agus Seán riad a freisin. This tune is a very well-known tune and it's a great song, and it's very much associated with the Cúile Gaeltacht and very much associated with Seán riad a Padar riad an Cór Cúile. Sé me leach me Gilamar, sé me héiser Gilamar, suan ná siad ní bhóras é ach uim again me Gilamar. Tá sé teacht beidir, ceannas de blianta seo. So Robbie, me Gilamar.
This is a song called Time Has Made a Change in Me. It's actually an old hymn. was collected by a lady called Lucy Simpson in the States. And I just happened to hear it on a John Kelly radio program. And it goes like this.
And you could sing a little. So very appropriate in church.
In church, yeah.
Yes. Time has made a change.
Time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smiling face, etc., etc.
They'll get it. The world is listening now, you know.
Time has made a change since my childhood days. Many of my friends have gone away. Some are never more in this world will see. Time has made a change in me. Time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smiling face. And all my friends can plainly see. Time has made a change in me. In my childhood days, I was well and strong. I could climb the hillside all day long. I am not today what I used to be. Time has made a change in me. Time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smiling face. And all my friends can plainly see. Time has made a change in me. And when I reach my home in that land somewhere, with all my friends who come to meet me over there, free from pain and care, I'll forever be. 'Cause time has made a change in me. Let's sing it one time. Time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smiling face. And all my friends can plainly see. Time has made a change Thank you.
So Tommy dig ag tacht chuig deire is all mar agus bhí an ihe haar bar ar fad ar dern siad go baile bhí sé nó tála ar fad an so nacht idir ceol agus filiocht agus gach gine den ihe tá bhíd fíormhaoch don fuirn an so agus don cuide tacht an so agus na lads an so atá daileáis an fís agus a cuirna pictúrí amach go dtí an dain mór bio srahan bio ón áit sápéil even sa agus tá sais sketamíní ar an bhean sa so tacht chuig deire. One of Patrick Kavanagh's poems is one of my favorite Patrick Kavanagh poems is the one I'm going to read now, and Sonny is then going to sing a song called Kings. And Sonny comes from a farm in Wicklow and grew up on a farm, and this is a song, I suppose, about the seasons and the seasons changing, and how will we and what will we keep in store for the year that's ahead, and what sort of weather are we going to get that will enable us to get our stores in and keep ourselves together for the winter until next year. And when we were coming up, I was reading a lot of Patrick Kavanagh's poems, but I also came across an interesting piece written by Seamus Heaney, I think around the occasion of the centenary of Patrick Kavanagh's birth in 2004. And he says in this little piece that I found that when he met Patrick Kavanagh, that Patrick Kavanagh told him that poetry was not autobiography, but a transformation of autobiography, a transcendence of it even, that it is a matter not of record, but of renovation, of amplifying the given into the unlooked for, of snatching out time, the passionate, transitory. And I think I know what he means. And I think so influenced by Patrick Kavanagh, certainly early Seamus Heaney. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody. I'd like to thank everybody who played music and read their wonderful poems, and to the team here, and to the invitation that we got from the team and from the people who run this and are so welcoming and generous and kind and hospitable. It is a delight to be here, and to all the lads making the videos and sending them out on a live stream to the world, so you never know who'll be watching, so you wouldn't. And again, thanks to you all for coming out and being here. And for us, it is just so magical to get to play. Yeah. To get to play the music. So thank you all very much. Thank you. Innocence. They laughed at one I loved, the triangular hill that hung under the big Forth. They said that I was bounded by the whitethorn hedges of the little farm and did not know the world. But I knew that love's doorway to life is the same doorway everywhere. Ashamed of what I loved, I flung her from me and called her a ditch, although she was smiling at me with violence. But now I'm back in her briery arms. The dew of an Indian summer lies on bleached potato stalks. What age am I? I do not know what age I am. I am no mortal age. I know nothing of women, nothing of cities. I cannot die unless I walk outside these white thorn hedges.
Sister Maeve is quite somber, but she don't pray for rain. Old crows, watch your progress, turning green to brown. This girl of summer in the cartwheel tracks, and winter left behind. If we could get the weather, we could live like some kings till spring comes. Oh, if we could just get the weather, we could live like some kings till spring comes. Till spring comes. Spring comes. Till spring comes. This moon is quite slender, so foxes can come and go unseen. Oh man, weary limbs will lift the window and breathe in the head. If we could get the weather, we could live like some kings till spring comes. Oh, if we could just get the weather, we could live like some kings till spring comes. Till spring comes. Sister Maeve is quite somber, but she don't pray for rain to fall.
Eva, thank you very much. This is Sonny Condell who writes the songs. This is Robbie Overson playing the guitar. Chloe, thank you for mixing the beautiful sound. Thank you to everybody here. And we wish you a fond and a safe good night. Eva agus Slán Valle. Thank you. Eva. And good night to everybody watching on the old live stream. It's gone, is it?